Hi, my name is Caden Lamahan, and this is my ITI 664 Week 1 assignment topic of study presentation. Just a short background about me. I was an avid tutor during college when I was studying neuroscience at University of California, Riverside. And I took a couple years to figure out what I wanted to do, and then I became a substitute teacher for Marietta Valley Unified School District, and that's when I enjoyed being in the classroom and decided to go into education. So now I am pursuing a Master's of Education in Inspired Teaching with a preliminary single subject credential at National University. Um, some of the interests and hobbies on my free times include brewing coffee, different brewing methods. I like tasting different types of coffee and going to supporting independent coffee shops. I also like film photography, so analog and shooting film. I also like traveling and collecting postcards when I go to different places, and I also like listening to true crime podcasts. So my research topic is on social and emotional learning in English learners. The research proposal is how can teachers support English learners socially and emotionally? Why SEL in English language learners? So, social and emotional learning is becoming a popular strategy in the classroom to promote academic achievement and effective learning environment for students. So, in other words, SEL is just becoming more recognized throughout US public schools and becoming more implemented in classrooms. But English language learners face different challenges socially and emotionally, such as moving to a new country, trying to fit into a new school, and even learning a new language compared to their native English speaking peers. So I wanted to study more on the effects of SEL and what it has to do on English language learners. There's also been a lack of research in the area of study specific to English language learners, so this topic needs to be explored further. The research questions, the primary research question is how can educators provide social and emotional support for ELs in schools? Um, these secondary questions would include how do educators teach social and emotional skills in ELs in a classroom? And then how does SEL teaching impact EL's academic performance in the classroom? So these questions would help narrow down my data collection through specific questionnaires and surveys given to teachers and students. How I plan to find answers for research questions. First, I would interview with the participants, which are the teachers, um, and gather information from them. And then I also would give surveys for both teachers and English learner students, um, so that they can give me more qualitative data on the social and emotional learning strategies and how they're implemented and how they're affecting the English language learners, and how they impact their academic performance, as well as comparing their progress reports from the beginning of the semester, halfway through a semester, and the end of semester within the timeline, or the timing of the study. Um, so teachers will report whether the students would improve or improved academically by comparing those grades, um, and reporting to me what what they find. Some of the resources that I have are from academic journals, websites, blogs, research articles. So one prominent one is from castle.org. This website has everything on social and emotional learning, which includes um, strategies, resources, and research articles based on social and emotional learning within the classroom. And then also, we also have another website or blog site, which is Colorin, Colorado. And this site is specifically geared towards English language learning and strategies that would help teachers implement and practice into their instruction. Also, I use the National University Library search engines and databases, which is the EBSCO database for educators, the ProQuest education database, and the SAGE journals database. Um, and this these databases were easy to use. I was able to use keywords to find articles related to my topic of study, and I was able to find um, most articles through the databases, um, and it was just easy to use. Within the last couple years, within the last decade of relevant information. Uh, And then also at the beginning of when I was formulating a research proposal, I had a critical friend who was able to critique and help me narrow down my research topic. So they were able to give me and provide me effective feedback on what should and what shouldn't be included in my research study. So next, for my methodology for my research proposal and the study, first I need to gather participants. So I would need to go to administrations, or you know, I need to go to schools, and get permission to do the study, and find teacher participants from either elementaries, elementary school, middle school, and high school from my local district. Preferably two from each school level, so two from elementary, two from middle, and two from high school within the content area ELA, just to keep it consistent. And then, after acquiring my 6 teacher participants, I would do initial interviews through phone, email, or video chat, just to get basic background information and how many ELs are enrolled in their class. Um, After that, I would brief each teacher on the action plan and their task for the study. Um, so each teacher will be given a chart of strategies they choose to implement in their instructions. So strategies, SEL strategies, or they can come up with their own strategy and report that. They are to at least implement one strategy in their instruction and do that, implement that throughout their instruction through the duration of the time. Then teachers will report the strategy they used and give feedback on how they felt about each strategy's effectiveness. So I would give them a survey at the beginning, or questionnaire, and then another survey at the midpoint, and then at the end. So questionnaires will be given at the beginning, midpoint, and the end of the study to gather the specific qualitative data that I would need. And then continuing on with the methodology, I would have also the EL students be given a survey by the teachers through Google Forms, to provide feedback on how they feel, through SEL check ins. So I'll give them survey questions, and they would have to answer them uh, through ratings from 1 through 5, being able to agree to the statement or disagree to the statement, and that's how I would be able to analyze that data. and then they would report. Then the teachers would report their ELL students' progress after implementing the SEL strategies to the first half of the semester, and then at the end of the semester. So we would be able to compare those data uh, data information. Then, after collecting all the data and questionnaire, um, uh, survey reports from the teachers at the end of the semester, I would analyze all the information that I've gathered from the teachers and the students. So the analysis will proceed and answer the research questions once all data and surveys are received. Then at the end of it, I will compare results with a similar case study um, that deals with elementary students and refugees and how SEL strategies uh, impacted those students. So, if I could go travel back in time, I would tell myself to lay out a research plan. So, first, I would say that I need to organize better, articulate a topic, and then find relevant background, identifying information needs, list of keywords and concepts for easy search, consider the scope of my topic, find a realistic approach to conduct research, evaluate the informational resources gathered, analyze and adjust research strategies to answer the research question thoroughly. So I would make sure I have all of these in my research plan so that I can have a better organizational plan and use my time wisely in uh, getting these information in a timely manner. And lastly, my plans for the future. After completing my master's program, I plan to find a teaching job in high school physics. My goal is to become an inspiring teacher to my future students. And then I may plan to go further into education to pursue a PhD and become a professor at a university, or I might decide to move up to administrative positions and education.